Liverpool won the first game of the Premier League season with a great 4-2 win against Bournemouth, which sets up exactly what we expected from this Liverpool team. Now, in this video, we're going to go through the debutant Hugo Ekitike, who is incredible in his Premier League start, getting a goal and an assist, and overall his great play in this team should be a starting for the rest of the season. So let's get into it. Now, I will say that this wasn't that much of a surprise of a result looking at it before the season started, and I think Liverpool will play a lot of games this season with the same sort of outcomes. There's going to be times where their two defenders back will cost them and they will get broke upon, but they should be able to outscore teams most of the time because of their incredible forward line. And obviously brilliant goals of Chiesa off the bench, and that Salah one late on gave him the win in the end. But the reason why they were ahead at all was Hugo Ekitike, and his movements in this game I think were key. His goal and assist was obviously amazing as well, but ultimately I think his overall play shows a lot of encouragement and a reason why the Liverpool recruitment team is just so good. Maybe gives questions if they need to Isaac or not, but obviously that's another discussion. Now, in this game, this was obviously the team that played for Liverpool. Gravenberch was out, and I think that was definitely noticeable in this midfield, but I think Szoboszlai and McAllister played quite well. McAllister was so aggressive going up against these defenders, like he always is, winning the ball back easily, and Szoboszlai's interplay of little 1-2s of Wirtz and then running onto it was incredible, and I gotta say I like that. Now, the reason why Ekitike is so successful and will be for Liverpool is because he isn't sitting here. Where is he sitting? Everywhere. He really does go everywhere on the pitch. There was many times where I think a lot of his work down this left side was very good, where he would come into this sort of inside channel, make the underlap and allow Gakpo to come across him, which was obviously one of the goals which we'll talk about. But I think the major thing that you have to talk about with Ekitike is his constant movements that this guy does into the central areas. There was many times where he'd get here and he'd do a little flick or allow players to go across him. Now Wirtz is deeper here. Wirtz can even make that and make that run, but Wirtz often just stayed here, didn't really make that run, and everyone else did. You see Szoboszlai, you see McAllister, all waiting for that pass off by Ekitike, which baits players in and then sets them free. And Szoboszlai has had a lot of freedom, I would say, in this game to do that. Now, having the team set up like this is quite disingenuous because this game was crazy and Bournemouth players were going everywhere. They were sitting, they were moving, and most of the times Liverpool didn't play against a settled team. It was against a team like Bournemouth who had kind of committed people going forward like you expect Liverpool to bait teams in, and they were basically going up against this back line in this very high line that we see being here. Now, this line was causing all sorts of problems because of these runners from deep, which you see all over the shop, but more importantly, it was causing more problems because of how wide Salah and Gakpo were. Now, what they actually did quite a lot in this game, Liverpool, was actually move Gakpo very out wide on this side and Salah inside. This meant that when there was about 3 players, let's say one is back here because they only really had 3 defending a lot of the times on this break, it kind of closed them in and made sure they had to be a lot more compact and gave Ekitike that room. Now, what was really good about Ekitike is where these areas are very congested in the middle, let's say, Ekitike is willing to kind of come into these areas, do a little pass off to someone like here, and then run in behind them as they're going towards that player. He's then open and Liverpool can then find him with this space. When he's in this area, he also loves spreading the ball out wide. I knew that he was going to spread the ball a lot out to Salah. He did that a lot at Frankfurt, but he also used Gakpo quite a lot, and it allowed Gakpo to get in these big spaces of one-on-one gaps where he could really dominate, which I think was a majorly important thing with his play overall. And I will say there was loads of switches in this game, which Liverpool constantly do. Everyone was having a go at that animation with the merry-go-round, but this is very much what they do with their attack and line. There was so many times where I'm looking at where is Ekitike. He's in these areas really deep waiting for the ball. You see here you've got Kuzkev on the overlap, makes sense, he loves them forward areas, but look who is the one that is making that run into the middle. It's Wirtz. Now Wirtz will be intelligent and make this sort of stop-start run in this space here and maybe this space, but I feel like going further away from the play is probably not what you want to do, and you want to isolate Salah one-on-one with this fullback, which makes sense. But ultimately Wirtz isn't going to consistently make these runs and look for the ball. He's going to kind of be in these areas anyway. Now, what Ekitike does in these moments is very good though. When he receives the ball, he likes picking up in these positions. You see him open his foot wide and then him cut inside. This is where he really does have most of his shots. You will see that in this game, but we saw it in the Community Shield, and we're seeing it over pre-season. Most of his shots come from about this area, coming inside, and then being able to shoot across goal. His goal against Palace was like that, and many goals he has scored, it's actually kind of like a signature shot that he likes to do. However, a lot of the time, he knows he is not going to get the space, unfortunately, to shoot. That was just one of the moments where Wirtz had dragged the players back, and he used that space to have a shot. Wasn't the best idea, but at least he got that moment in. It was only a couple of minutes into the game. But this is where he really was used the best in this game. As someone in that central progression, very much like a Dembele for PSG, where he comes deeper in these areas, he receives the ball and instantly lays it off to someone to run through. We spoke about this before, but Liverpool love just having runners. Every single player is so talented to run in behind for them. It is unbelievable. They're all used to do it and helping the team. Now, what he does in this situation is he receives the ball. Instantly, you see Wirtz's run that he makes. He makes that run in behind, gives him that option. And look who, more importantly, has the space out on the left. Oh my God, it is Mohamed Salah, who has got all that space for that one-on-one to attack, which is exactly where Ekitike can also turn and take it on, which obviously he ends up doing in the end and gives Salah that space. And the reason why this is also so successful is because of how quick he is to do these motions. You know, Szoboszlai's picking the ball up in midfield here. He's got options. He's got Wirtz here. They've kind of isolated this midfielder. But guess who's coming back for this pass here? Oh, look, it's Ekitike. Ekitike is coming deeper, pulling the centre-back out of position, being able to quickly lay it off to Eva. I think here he lays it off to Szoboszlai and then goes into that run in behind. If we skip a few, you can see Szoboszlai's now received it, and now Ekitike is going to make that run. But yet again, who does that give space to because he's dragged the two defenders back? Oh, look, it's Mohamed Salah on this side who's still got space. Now, obviously, that's a lot of his deeper work, but he was also used as a box presence. Now, his heading clearly needs a little bit of improvement to it. There was a few times where Gakpo got really well down this side, got into these positions, he loves these areas, and then cut the ball in to this back post. Line's a little bit wonky, but when he cuts the ball into the back post, Ekitike is up trying to head the ball, as you can see here, and when it actually happens, he ends up heading it over, and it doesn't quite go how he wants to. And he did that a few times where he got this kind of space in the back post, because yet again, Liverpool are so quick with an action that they just get all these spaces back post and these front post ones, which give him the opportunity to have shots, and that is one of the reasons why he was so successful in this game. However, with Ekitike coming deeper, he has this him gene where he will just run at players and do different things. Now, Wirtz was so good in this game. Like, Wirtz, we could also have a conversation about him one day, but his movements, like, he's here right now and he's going wherever he wants, basically. This guy is fully doing a full 360-degree angle and going anywhere. This is why he ends up in these weird positions, and if you watch the game of Wirtz, you'd be crazy the places he ends up. Now, and the thing with Ekitike here, he is burst straight past this player. This player has no chance of getting the ball. Really well weighted by McAllister to get one-on-one against this defender. This defender knows he has to come out, and this one just completely leaves him. This guy, he just goes, nah, I won't bother. So, you know, fair enough, I guess. And obviously, he gets a bit lucky. Like, I'm not going to act like this is the best skill in the world. It bounces off him. It comes off the defender, allows him to go through. We've seen it all before. But then he's able to run and then have that shot on goal. His pace is obviously incredible. And actually, in this situation, we talk about him liking to go across goal. If you've done your research, the goalkeeper should know he's always going across here. Just rolls it in, and that is obviously what you want to see from your new striker. And in terms of the assist, this is exactly what we were talking about earlier of him coming down here. He comes down here, look who's in the middle, it's Florian Wirtz, and Salah is the sort of sneaky person they're using. They want to get the ball to Salah more than not, but it's only going to be if it happens if it's a switch or a back post cross. It's going to be hard to get him to the ball, and if you get the ball into someone like Wirtz here within space, you want him to shoot. You're not asking him to pass the ball off to Salah in the box. Now, this is yet again where Wirtz takes up that striker opportunity, and then Ekitike can come down this left side. He does prefer the left side over to the right side, and I think that works with the space for Salah gains anyway. Finally, this gives the space to Gakpo. I think struggled a lot in that first half. This allows him to obviously pass the ball across, and it's just such a good move because Gakpo loves coming across like this anyway. It's like his best thing. He can literally just walk onto it. Both of the defenders have come towards him. Not just one, the fullback has also come, which this player here should really cover Gakpo, but he's just not paying attention. This player here cannot come across. You think about the gaps there being way too big for him to come across here. He's not making the move there, and these two are occupied over here. So this just allows that little bit of space because Ekitike has done so well to kind of bait players in. Also, players aren't really trying, but that's on them. And then Gakpo can take his time to roll the ball into the corner to make it 2-0 at the time to Liverpool. In where you can see Ekitike was very happy with himself and actually came off clapping. So fair play, Ekitike. That's what everyone wants to see. I think in terms of getting the best out of Ekitike, you're going to need to make more of these sort of Wirtz movements into the box and him to come on the left. I do think it kind of gives up some of that defensive responsibilities, especially when you get Ekitike to work with someone like Szoboszlai running forward. But like I said before this video started, we don't care. You just want Liverpool to get into them attacking areas and keep scoring. I don't think you're going to be worried about the amount of goals you're going to concede. There is going to be a lot, but you'll probably outscore most teams you play, so it doesn't really matter. Now, if you like this video, please let me know in the comments, and thank you guys for watching. This is a new channel. I'll be trying to upload daily on here, Liverpool and other teams, but let me know what you guys want to see, because I will really depict it by that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.